Welcome to our very first podcast, everyone. This is a podcast where I and my friend Grimskull, we're gonna talk about our content creation journey and things we have learned and discovered so far. Right? What do you say, Grimskull? That was a very bad intro.
that was a perfect intro. It's the segues we'll end up having to kind of figure out. Hey, how you
Yeah.
doing? How you doing? How's your weekend going? You doing good?
It's Sunday, right? It's Sunday.
Right.
Is it like Labor
We have
weekend already?
Labor Day. Yes, Labor
Labor
Day.
Day,
So it's
yeah.
a three day weekend for us. But
Oh, nice. So you're
yeah,
off tomorrow. Yeah.
well,
Or were you?
as a self-employed content creator,
Right.
I never really have days off. But
Exactly. It's
so
Sunday and we are working,
we
so to
are
speak.
working. We're
Yeah.
working right now. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's talk about some
All
content
right.
creation.
What do we do? What are we doing, Grimskull? We are content creators. Why did we get into content creation? Do you want to start with that philosophical question?
Uh, well, I mean, I've always been into computers and gaming and technology and the internet, and um,
Same.
I was a graphic designer by trade, so I built websites and the like, and so it's just kind of an extension of what I used to do. Uh, Really, because to me, content creation has been around. They just didn't call it content creation. It's just that since newer platforms have come up, content creation is the title you use for people who create content that is just online or consumed digitally. So, you know, I it's just a natural evolution for me from working with graphic design and doing motion graphics and getting into video editing. So and it's fun. It's kind of fun to do. Uh,
That
and I
is the
want to
most
make some money.
important.
I want to make a little bit of money.
True.
Because I actually am a full time content creator now. So I left a corporate news gig where I was creating graphics at a news station to work for myself and do this now full time. So
You're
yeah,
living the dream that all of us want to do.
I mean, I think people think it's a dream until they actually get into it, and they just, I mean,
We will get to that as well. That
yeah.
is, yeah.
I don't want
Mm.
to. I'm not trying to downplay it or anything. It's fun. It is good to work for yourself or whatever. But there's a lot that goes into being a content creator, and not all of it is dreamy.
Nope, correct. It's a job. It's like every other job, actually, if
Right.
one needs to be serious about it.
But
So,
what about you? What was it? Why did you get into content creation?
okay, yeah. Content creation was a term that I wasn't using or wasn't familiar with, and as you explained it, it was something that we were doing it, but we didn't call it like that. I mean, I was as you said myself as well. I was into technology, gaming, computers. I was into blogging, MySpace, creating stuff there, being social, and I was always. I don't know if I want to say I was in love with technology, but I always wanted to experience all the new platforms and all the social media, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. But YouTube, I'm going to talk about YouTube. I started YouTube 4 years ago because I felt in my being that I had to be part of this. Like if I don't be part of this, I'm missing the current technology, like I'm missing something that is happening right now, and I didn't want to miss that train. If I don't know if that explains it. So yeah, it was something that I felt like I have to, not I have to, I wanted to create content for YouTube generally. So that is how I made my channel. And of course I tried my luck with gaming. I was also on Twitch back then when it was not cool, or it was cool for well, it was 2014 or 15 that I was a bit on Twitch, but it was YouTube that got me in the end.
Yeah, and I'm kind of the same way. It's like
Mm.
I mean, I've been around for a while, but I did not jump on like the content creation as far as doing videos and stuff like that till really the last couple years. Um, I was doing web stuff, and to me that still counts as content creation. But I think nowadays, right, most people consider content creation is streaming
Mm-hmm.
or videos of some kind. Now, whether you do
Correct.
that on YouTube or the Instagram or TikTok now, it's content creation these days really means the kind of that video aspect of putting out video
Right.
content uh, on those platforms.
Right.
But yeah,
Uh,
I think we've been creating content ourselves for a while.
for a while, and I
You
was a
know,
freelancer also a few years ago, or many years ago, and I was also doing, I was making websites as well. I have a WordPress background. I do, to this day, I create, I build websites with WordPress, and that was
so that kind of segues into
mm,
that our next question really
yeah.
of what topics do we cover. And so like you were saying, you do WordPress. So what are the channels you have? What are the topics you cover
Yeah.
specifically?
Yes. I'm the one that confuses the algorithm on a daily basis. But I focused for a long while. I focused a lot on WordPress tutorials, like in the past year and a half, almost 2 years. I have been creating a lot of WordPress tutorials and Elementor. I'm using WordPress and Elementor in my day job. That's what I do, and I know it. And I have always wanted to make WordPress tutorials, even back then. I was freelancing in 2010 for 5 years, up to 15. And I wanted even back then to create tutorials on YouTube. But it's something that we will talk about in a while. I had something called imposter syndrome, like, who is going to see my tutorials and why am I the person to create tutorials? But we will cover that in a while. But I have been having this dream for a while. But the past 2 3 years, I made a channel and I started to make vlogs, trying to figure out my style and everything. But I was like, okay, now it's time to focus on WordPress. So I have been streaming and creating videos, WordPress, a lot, many stuff. And I have been streaming also on Facebook for a while. But I was like, okay, no, it's YouTube. But that is a side story.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
Well,
So
for
yeah.
me,
Mm,
for
for
me,
you?
uh, so it, the the pandemic thing happened, right, and
Right.
caused a lot of people to work from home. So while I was working from home, I had webcams and stuff like that, and I was like,
Mhm.
I think I want to do some streaming, and at first it was mainly just I was on Twitch and I
Mhm.
was playing games. So it was kind of like this kind of hobby thing, right, for me
Mhm.
at
Mhm.
first. So I was gaming, and then I play again. It's very loosely use the term play guitar. Um, and I was learning, and so I wanted to try to stream the game that I was playing called Rocksmith at the time. Uh, but eventually, I kind of figured, it would be good to share my knowledge of graphic design and um, motion graphics and the software that I use. So that's kind of I went from Twitch over to YouTube and stopped doing the game streaming and because there's a lot of game streamers out there, right? I mean,
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, true.
we both know how saturated that
Yeah.
area is.
Yes.
And not that the subjects we covered don't have a lot of people out there too, but it just, it was one of those things where we're not just another one of those game streaming, people trying to be make money by game streaming, because that's
Hmm.
very hard to do. So now I do my graphic design stuff on my YouTube channel. Uh, and I've been doing that for about a year. But for me, it's mainly streaming. I stream two times a week in the evening and try to cover some sort of topic of, you know, with Adobe software or what I
Hmm.
do, or a technique. I use vMix to stream with, so I also cover vMix, uh, and how to use vMix. And how to help other content creators create branding and graphics and stuff for their own site. Much like I did with you, right?
I was about to say that. Yes,
There are
you.
several streams out
Yes.
there. Go
Yes,
ahead.
if you go to my streams, you guys, you will see that my layers, my overlays, sorry, overlays and windows and everything and graphics, it's Grimskulls. It's your work, and
Yep,
I'm very
yep.
grateful for that. And I love it. It's so nice.
And so
Mhm.
that's kind of what I do with my channels. Now I also got back into gaming recently,
Yes, yes,
and
we have together.
yes, we've done a few streams with our friend Shearston,
Mm-hmm. The three of
who
us.
she
Yes,
who she got you into Minecraft, and then I watched a
correct.
stream, and then all of a sudden I wanted to
You
play
were
some
like, yeah, I
Minecraft,
want to
and
play too.
yeah,
Yes.
so
Mm.
now we're all back into that gaming. But I started a second channel that I do on the weekends, just for the game, because like you said, confusing the algorithm,
I'm an expert
is
in that. You did the
yeah
smart thing. Yeah.
we split that up so that but yeah, so I mean, those are the topics I cover. I would like to get back into doing some guitar stuff. I will probably do this on my gaming channel because it's more associated with that stuff. But
Mhm.
yeah, but for now, it looks like both of us are into trying to, share some knowledge with people about, web design and graphic design. So that's kind of cool.
Correct, correct. Yes, and I have, as I said, a lot of WordPress tutorials and past live streams that you can find on my channel. But I've done some vlogs also. And back
Yeah,
when I started the channel, I didn't do WordPress. I have some Star Wars vlogs,
yeah.
but I have left them in the channel. And but also recently I'm into podcasting, and I have had collaborations with you and some other friends. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm confusing the algorithm all the time. But
Right,
um I don't know if we should talk about it now or if we keep it for a different episode about the content in our, like, am I a WordPress tutorial channel or am I like a variety content creator? Because there are those things as well that
right,
people use the personality to.
right.
But that's a different
Sure. We
thing.
could say that for one where we kind of discuss advantages or disadvantages of staying single topic or variety.
Right.
Yeah, we could save that, you
Yes,
know,
yes. We keep a
for a
mental
different one.
note.
That's
Correct.
fine with me.
Yes.
But
Um,
one of the things that I think
mhm.
we both have in common are some, at least one specific person that influenced us. But
Yes.
who uh, influenced you or influences you as through your journey as a content creator?
Right. We will get to that common person, of course, that influenced us. But back then, of course, I was watching a lot of all of those Revision 3 channels, Leo Laporte, the network, all those tech web shows. And I was like, man, I really like that. I wish I could do that myself. But then when I was doing WordPress, when I was freelancing, it was this channel by Sandy Lenarduzzi, if I'm not killing the name, but she is has a channel where she's helping people to start with YouTube. And I found her and I was like, look, it's so easy. I should do it. I should start doing it, because he was explaining that you don't really need equipment, which we can cover in another episode as well. She started her channel with her iPhone 6 at the time, and she was editing everything there. So from her watching her how to do that, I learned how to do some simple like video editing, watching her videos, and also getting ideas. She had at the time she had actually a Facebook group, and I asked questions and she answered me like, okay, do you have a script, or do you go with bullet points, and like do you how many times do you shoot a film? And that was something that helped me. Pro tip, she said like, you don't start and stop and start again if you make a mistake. Just film all of it, even with the mistakes, and then you can just cut it. And that actually helped me. Okay, right, I
Yeah,
don't have
that's
to go back and
yeah,
forth.
yeah.
Yeah. So I got some practical tips, and then I was still suffering with imposter syndrome. And I have to say, I have been watching a lot of Gary Vaynerchuk. Now, I'm not saying that everyone agrees 100% with what he says, but with his motivation videos and telling people to don't pay attention to the negative comments, do your thing. And I have to say that he and his videos have helped me to
Mhm.
get
Yep.
over my fears.
I love Gary V.
Yes. So
I've
I can
never
say
seen
that.
Sunny Linderdoozy. Never seen her. I
Okay,
have to
yeah,
admit.
it's okay. She gives practical advice in how to grow a YouTube channel, and she's good. She's good, but for my perspective, like for my side, those two I can say have been great influences.
Nice, nice.
How about you? Before we go to our common,
Well,
Mhm. Did you have any or
yes, Harris Heller
right? Hmm.
was
Hmm.
really someone, when I started wanting to do it, right? When we start thinking about, hey, this would be interesting and cool to do, we do
Hmm.
our searches of like, how to do this. And of
Yes.
course, the influencer pop up. So, we had we had Roberto Blake out there, we had Sean
Hmm.
Cannell, we had
Right. Sean Candle as
Harris
well. Yes.
Heller,
Think
um,
Media. Yes. Yeah.
Nick Nimmons, all those
Yeah.
the big folks,
Right.
and
Right.
so I get influence from all of those, but I want to say Harris Heller was kind of the guy that really I kind of I don't want to say like connected with connected with because it's like I don't mean on a personal level, but like everybody else, I learned a lot from him. You know, there's a lot of influence you come across, but Harris Heller is one of the big ones. Uh,
I agree.
then I can't. I'm trying to remember his name, and I'm sorry. I apologize if you ever see this, but it's the gaming careers channel.
Okay.
Uh, I can't. I'm
Don't
trying
know.
to remember. I'll have to look it up at some point. But
Okay.
the gaming careers channel also, the the guy who does that channel, it, I learned a lot from also, because back then we were using OBS and we're looking for OBS tutorials and just I would say those two were early influencers of mine.
Mm-hmm.
There was this one guy,
Okay.
because at the time I was wearing glasses,
Right.
and uh, when you're wearing glasses, you're the lighting,
It
gives a
gets
glare, right?
reflected on the.
So I was like, how do
Mhm.
you do this and get rid of the glare? And so I did a search for, getting, lighting with glasses, and some dude with a goatee and white frame glasses,
Right.
who was almost seemed a bit full of himself at the time.
Yes.
I found one of his videos
Yeah.
that helped me a lot in as far as um, you know how to set my lighting up so that I didn't get that direct glare. And I saw his video and it was great,
He
and
helped
then
you fix
he
it.
did help me later on. I went off and kept doing my thing, and um, I started watching Twitch a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, while I was at work, and I mean, guess I could say this now because I'm not working there. I was watching Twitch, and this
At work?
guy, yeah,
Yes.
this guy with the white frames popped up on my Twitch
Tweet. Like,
thing.
yes.
Again,
This,
like I was like, hey, that's the dude. That's that dude with the white frame glasses.
yes.
That I said, cool. And so I started watching his Twitch stream. And of course, we both know who wears those white frames, and that is Mr. David Foster,
Right.
the original live streaming pro. And,
Yes.
but yes,
Yes.
I think I will let you take it from here. But David Foster has been a huge influence on me.
And
But
motivation.
what about you? But what about you?
Yes, yes.
How did you come across?
Right. So I felt like, okay, not I wanted to start live streaming. I have been watching, besides those two, that was the initial that gave me the boost, Gary Vee and Sandler Narduzzi. Of course, I was watching Sean Connell, Think Media, and all those. I was googling also. I was searching on YouTube as well for those things, and I wanted to do live streaming, and I wanted to get over the fear. So at the time, I was in live streaming pros, and from there David Foster was a part of it back then, and then he was not a part of it. And but I was watching the live streams, and I was watching him, and I kept watching him because he had something that at- attracted me, but in a way, in a live streaming way. And I remember I was in the chat in one of his live streams, and I was telling him that, yeah, I'm a bit scared. And he was live, and he said, Xanthi, you go live tonight. Like, you do it now. And I did it because he told me, he commanded me, he ordered me to do it. And that was it. After that, I haven't stopped streaming or creating content. And yes, through his videos, I have learned a lot, and I have gotten motivation and inspiration. And for me, the imposter syndrome was huge, was big. So it was a struggle for me to get over it. So he helped me a lot to get over it by making me going live. He made
Mm,
me,
yeah,
what is the word that I'm searching for, to see my fears,
to face your
to
fears,
face
to
my
face
fears,
face
and
your fears. Yeah,
face my fears and conquer my fears. And I did.
and that's the thing, right? I mean, and that's how you and I uh,
Right.
met.
We were
Through
his students, so to
through what
speak.
yeah through David's the community there,
Community.
and
Correct.
we've collaborated on a few projects here
Mm-hmm.
and there, but yeah,
Yeah.
and now it's like we are two really good friends now through that community. That's one of the reasons I really love about content creations
That
is that
is
I get to meet interesting people and gain great friends
true.
through the community, like you and David. Sorry, and we have several friends in common. There's a Joseph Clough and Kevin
Yes.
Michael Reed are two other content creators that are really good friends
Cool
of
people.
ours,
Yes.
and now we have Shearston in the fold
Mm-hmm.
of our kind of content creator group. Uh, but yeah, David influenced me a
Mm-hmm.
lot. I now work with David
Me too.
on his team of with his David Foster media through David Foster Media with several of his channels. So yeah, I've got a full plate of content creation through David. But he helped. I'm with you. He helped kind of help me overcome a bit of my any imposter syndrome as well as all the kind of technical aspects and advice of, what to do, how to set up your streams and what gear to use and all that stuff, which, we could talk about some other
We can
time. But
talk
yeah,
different. Yeah.
yeah. So that, you know,
Yes, I have to say here that you I have to say you are a better you are a better person when we were going through, the material for this podcast, because you say, okay, through content creation I get to meet interesting people. And I was like, damn it. Why didn't I think of that? Of course, but that's true. But you are the bigger person here
you
in
could
this.
cut that really, you could cut that part out and just claim that you agree with it. That's all you got to say. Just
Oh,
don't say you
okay,
didn't say it. Think of it.
okay.
You just,
No.
I don't mind. I don't mind if you share
No.
the glory of coming up with the ideas. It's perfectly fine with me.
Thank you. Thank you. You're very generous. Okay. But yeah, so that is a bit of our past and how we ended up here and doing what we're doing, like a small intro. What do you say it's our goals? What do we want to achieve, accomplish? What is our
Our
future?
goals, our goals. So,
Yeah.
you know, uh,
What do you
f-
want to be when
uh,
you grow up, Grimskull?
yeah, that's basically, yeah, that's, still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
Uh, when I started it was something, I was working a full-time job and I, I did not like it. Well, I don't want to say I didn't like it. It just, I wasn't going to go anywhere in that job. Um, at the time, at the time,
Yeah, I think
uh,
many can relate to that. Yeah.
it wasn't a big company. So, there was one management level to go to. If I wanted to go anywhere, I had to move somewhere else. And I guess I'm in that stage of my life where I don't want to move around a lot and job hop. So,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of started doing it as a way to see if I could start supplementing my income and then start uh, growing into kind of a full-time gig. And so that was kind of the goal. I'm along the path, but it's kind of, I'm like I guess I kind of deem myself as the content creator's content creator. I want to help content creators in creating their own content. So that kind of turned into a kind of a goal, not just to be like the guy in front of the camera all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but to help others do what like David and all of those do, or all of those, and it not necessarily teaching people how to create content, but helping creators like yourself, because you do WordPress. That's that was
Mm-hmm.
kind of your thing. Other people have other topics, and I want to help them their production.
Mm-hmm.
Help elevate their production. So that's kind of one of my goals, is to help other content creators elevate their streams or their videos to
Right.
another level. Um, you
Yes,
know,
because when you made my overlays, I felt really, and now I'm not saying because it's you, but it made a difference.
right.
It
Uh,
makes the whole production more, not, I don't know if I want to say professional, but at least better looking.
it, yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's a thing. It's like, professional. It's like you want to make it look polished, is I guess
Right,
the more better term, right? I mean,
right, right.
not nobody wants to look like it was, their cousin's uncle did it in their, that lives in the basement, which
You're
I
right.
basically do. Maybe I should be quiet about that. Um,
But
but
you
yeah,
have a
that's
very
that's
advanced basement.
my current goals are to
Mhm,
try to do more video tutorials. Right now, I stream more than anything, but
mhm.
I want to do more video tutorials on YouTube, uh, to try to get more views. And I really, it's just to be able to make. I don't want to get rich. I just want to be able to, cover my bills,
Nice.
cover my expenses, and then have a little bit of money left over to, go on vacation every now and then or buy
Right.
new gear when I need to. So, that's kind of the ultimate goal there. I'm not
Right.
necessarily looking to uh, get a million views like another channel that I work for just did.
Right. But that's good that
So,
you're part of that team, and that is amazing.
yes, yeah. But okay, but what about you? What are your
Mhm.
goals for
What
your
about me?
on your content creation journey?
Right. If I'm honest, I don't want to lie. I think more or less everyone, when they start on YouTube, or at least the majority, they have the monetization in their mind, like an extra income. It is unrealistic to expect that you one will become millionaire or make a full-time income right from the start. I'm not saying that it's impossible, but that's not the standard. So I had that in mind in a way that back then, when I started with the tutorials with the WordPress, when I was freelancing, I wanted to have YouTube as like a marketing funnel, like a way for me to attract, I don't know, prospect clients, people that get to know me and my services, and to use it as a marketing channel. And similarly, later in the years, similarly like you, I was working in a company, and but I realized that that's not what I really want to do in life. It had nothing, that company had nothing to do with WordPress. Let's say that I did a break and I went to a different part, a different kind of job. I was in sales, a nice honorable job, nothing wrong with that. I had nice colleagues, a nice office, it was a nice environment, but I felt in my heart that's not what I want to do. I want to go back to build websites. And I said, okay, I have to start. I wanted to, like you, start a channel, like get serious with my channel to promote the WordPress and the services, to get some views, make tutorials, to start building a side income like you, not expecting to become rich, but of course to have some sort of, to complement and maybe gradually make it as a full-time income in a way, like together with WordPress services and that as well. So, but now things have changed a bit because I happen to, I have a job as a WordPress developer. So that kind of changed a bit my long time, my long YouTube plans. However, I don't want to stop doing YouTube and WordPress on YouTube just because I got a job doing just that. Uh, but it's also a creative outlet for me. Okay, I continue doing WordPress tutorials on my YouTube channel to even today, and but I do podcasts, I do some vlogs. As I said previously, I'm confusing the algorithm all the time, but I think my goal is to build kind of a brand name of myself, to go for the personality kind of YouTuber variety. But still, I'm still trying to figure it out. And I guess that is part of why we're doing this podcast, to go through our journey and
Right, right.
learn, share experiences, say what mistakes we have done, what we have learned, what is working, what is not working. I think I'm still learning, but of course, I have my tutorials. I have some videos that I'm very proud of that I make, and I hope, of course, that it will increase the viewership and that at some point I get monetized.
Yep, yep.
That, I guess. But I guess many think like that.
Several and several things you say kind of ring true uh, for me too, because like doing this sort of stuff is a really good creative outlet. Also, I mean, I
Mhm.
love being able to get on and just try new ideas and help other people with their creative ideas. But yeah, it's also a great tool to try to funnel people if you want to provide services for them too. Like because I do graphic design and I get a lot of requests for graphics work sometimes
Mm-hmm.
that I have to uh, pass up only because, like I said, right now I work with David Foster and we do the redacted
Mm-hmm.
news show on YouTube. Uh, I do David's videos for his for
This channel.
two channels, almost three really, but right his David Foster LSP
Overland.
channel,
Yes.
his Overland Geeks,
Mm-hmm.
and then he does kind of the political kind of podcast, the Unapologetic, which is kind of
Right.
on the back burner. But and
Mm-hmm.
so those are four channels that I'm involved in. I'm also involved with what the redacted Clayton Morris is and Natalie they do the redacted, but Clayton does a paranormal channel that I do thumbnails for, and that's I kind of started out. I guess that's what I really started out as just doing thumbnails, but now I do so much more
Mm.
for all of that stuff that it sort of gets in the way at the moment. And not that I'm complaining. I don't want to seem like I'm
No, I
complaining
know
about it at all. You
it
want to try to
happens.
find the time
Mm-hmm.
to do your own content, but right
Mm-hmm.
now I kind of get focused on that other stuff. And so that's why I stream more than anything these days cuz I can get on and stream and talk and then do these, work on things excuse me, as I stream. But I agree. I mean, the whole content creation is a great way uh to try to I don't want to say funnel. Funnel always sounds like a bad word to me, but
Oh, sorry.
to gain clients who see your work and see what you do and see
Right.
your expertise and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And
Mm.
so yeah.
Yes, and maybe we should also say why we're doing this podcast is, well, we have mentioned it, but it is another creative outlet, I guess, and it's a way
Yes.
for us to share what we have learned as small. Well, me, I'm small. We are small.
We are small. Yeah, we're
We are
yeah.
not monetized yet, but
Uh,
we have learned things.
yeah.
We see how it works. There are many more things that we want to learn and be better at. Mistakes will be made, good
Mhm.
things will be made,
Mhm.
and we're here to talk about it.
As our good friend Joseph Clough always says, the learning is in the failure.
Right, right. That is so true.
It's
Mm.
it's not necessarily that you are failing, but you will learn from mistakes or setbacks that will help you on your next go around with it. So,
And that is so true. That is very true.
all right. So, hey, I think this is a great idea. I can't wait to do the next one. So this is of course Xanthi, and you can find her. Where can they find you?
Well, we put the links in the description below.
Okay,
Xanthi S, you can find me on YouTube. And well, all of my links are on my website, which is xsyrakou.com. It
got
is
it. And you can find me on youtube.com/Grymskull. On most of the social medias, you'll find me under that Grimskull, twitter.com/Grimskull. And yeah, this is great. And hopefully you'll join us for the next upcoming podcast. And everybody have a good one.
yes. Thank you, Grimskull. Thank you, everyone. See you next time.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.